Alright, Captain, whenever you are ready.
Captain's log, stardate 5384 7.9. We're on course for Narendra. We've sustained moderate damage in our standoff with the Romulans, and we're gonna need some repair time. We've also got the Genesis device to deal with. Haven't quite decided what to do on that front yet. All in all, though, we seem to have come out the other side alive. In Captain's log.
Alright. So, the Sarek is mere hours away from Narendra Station. The journey back has been long. It's been about 10 days. Both the captain and chief engineer wounds have been healed by the doctor. And whatever the doctor says in terms for keeping it quiet or taking it easy. All in all, it's been rather quiet. News from on the Romulan side, their current civil dispute in the Romulan Empire has come to a close. There hasn't been too much word other than that the fighting has stopped. And we will be on the scene with the bridge. This time it is actually during Alpha Shift, so if anybody, it's pretty much free roleplay with anyone on the bridge.
So, I want to clarify something real quick. Regarding what to do with the Genesis device, who has told me that? Or, have we been in contact with Narendra?
Yeah, so with that, you order to store it, not touch it, do not investigate anything about it, and you are to hand it off to Starfleet Intelligence as soon as you dock with Narendra.
Okay. Have I told the XO that yet? Or does the XO know? Or is that something I would have to do now? Is anyone else aware of those orders? Is what I'm asking.
I would imagine your XO is, and the rest of the crew. Assuming you're wanting to follow orders.
Just at this point wanting to know if who knows.
I think the question is, who would you have told?
I think it's fine that I've told everybody at this point. I just wanted to know for sure before I said anything. Is Joan on the bridge?
Yeah, I'd be on the bridge if you weren't. Well, it's Alpha Shift, so I'd be there normally. I'm on duty.
Then I'll walk out onto the bridge.
Captain on the bridge.
Commander, would you like to walk with me to the cargo?
Aye, sir. I'll glance around to see if and hand it off to the senior officer in the room.
That would be the doctor. He's sitting in the second officer's chair. Because we have one of those.
Dr. Sarek, your bridge?
Yes, Commander.
And I'll wait till we get in the turbo lift.
Step in after you.
I don't know what deck, so I'm just going to say random. Turbo lift deck 14. Commander.
Aye, sir.
I think I'm going to have a look at this Genesis device with the engineer.
You sure that's wise, sir?
What would you do?
Well, if I was especially curious, I might ask permission, but we were specifically given orders not to be poking at it. But it'd be one thing if they didn't say anything, but they've said something to us, so it's hard to bend around the rule.
Tell me, in general, what's your feeling about WMD?
Wholly unnecessary and more trouble than they're worth. They have a great deterrent effect, but it usually gets the other side inclined to build the same thing, and then it just turns into who can kill the most people, which is not good for anybody. Even the Borg don't do that.
And you hold that opinion pretty firmly?
I would say so, sir.
I too feel that it's an unnecessary risk to have. The last time one of these devices was around, the Klingons got into such a diplomatic row that they attempted to incarcerate a Starfleet admiral. I would rather nothing like that happen again.
Do we have any idea, sir, who built this thing?
I know intelligence was involved.
Aren't they always? Don't get me wrong, I like intelligence fine. I just rather they weren't toying with certain technologies.
Well, I asked you what I asked you because I wanted to feel out your opinion. I have no intention of handing that device over. I intend to destroy it. And I'm giving you the chance to lodge your objections now.
Well, sir, I would, all I know is your intent, sir, and I'm not required to enforce the order at this time. But I would advise being very careful. He kind of just shakes his head.
Well, Commander, I'm ordering you to tell me what you will do in the case that you know credibly that I intend or that I've actually taken action to destroy the device.
I will request you inform the Admiral of your action. Possibly surrender yourself to the brig until we can get to Starbase, and you can face whatever consequences a panel of judges can deem fit. If we're lucky, your reputation will hold you up, and you'll get a slap on the wrist. If not, well,
maybe I won't. One second.
Aye, sir.
Oh, we don't have to Kark, do we?
No.
Nope. That's
not the player, anyway.
That's inconvenient.
Captain, I could make a suggestion, though. That's a little more legal.
What is it?
If you have any friends or any contact with the Federation Council, you may be able to go over the head of the Admiral. Get this thing pulled out and taken care of that way. That way you're not violating orders, you're following orders of a higher superior.
It would probably get swept under the rug.
This is a long turbo lift ride.
Yeah. Well, I assumed we've been walking down a hallway for a little bit now. In lieu of Takark, could I guess, Doctor, could you play your wife?
Sure.
Okay, we'll wait outside of the opening to the Genesis device. Captain to... What is her name again?
Lieutenant Starx.
Yeah, to Lieutenant Starx.
Yes, Captain.
Could you meet us in front of Cargo Bay 3?
Right away, Captain. And she will appear there in a few moments. And then... when she gets there, she's, you wanted to see me, sir?
Yeah. 1 second. There's one more person we need. Captain to Lieutenant Kayla.
Caleb here.
Could you meet us in front of Cargo Bay 3?
On my way.
Have you ever disposed of such a device, sir?
No, I have not.
Oh.
But I'm not an engineer. I've not even disposed of a phaser or a spent warp coil before.
Well, we can't exactly fit it in the replicator. Have it recycled. Grins.
And I assume just shooting it won't work. Neandra just kind of smirks a bit.
Lieutenant?
Shooting it, Lieutenant, may cause more damage than you can imagine.
I was being facetious, Captain.
Well, when Caleb arrives... Well, I'll have things to say when Caleb arrives. Do we still have Caleb?
Did he disappear?
Is he muted?
Yes.
He is muted.
Is he muted without his knowledge?
I don't know. Looks like possibly. Maybe.
Might still be in transit.
Yeah.
These conversations are getting kind of hard to have when it's just between me and the commander.
Why? What's wrong with talking with me? No.
I mean, one of the security officers is there. You can talk to her.
Yeah, but I need information from Caleb.
Yeah. She's not so good at the engineering. She's good at the flying, though.
Well, I guess I can ask the GM since Caleb is not here. GM, how does Caleb think? What does Caleb think about his ability to disassemble the device and possibly destroy the subcomponents safely?
He would probably say it's a little out of his league. The best thing he could do is maybe remove the power core, which contains the protomatter.
If he did that, then the device that's left over is rather harmless, isn't it?
Yes, until a new core is fashioned and placed in the unit, and it's pretty much active.
And
It's
the
pretty
core itself, do we know how we would get, if it's possible to get rid of, or is there an issue with that?
You could technically just dump it in space and fire a torpedo at it and it wouldn't do anything. It's just the Genesis device itself. If you were just to blow it up, it would probably cause a chain reaction, and then it would take all the material in space. If it's an empty space, namely your ship, it would pretty much dematerialize the entire ship and everyone on it, and try to reassemble it into a planet.
So, but that's only if we shot the whole device together. Or is that if we shot the core specifically?
That is if you shot the whole device together.
If we destroy the individual components, though, they're inert on their own.
The protomatter will probably explodes like any other volatile substance, but that's my guess. On a meta level.
It is unknown whether or not it could utilize other forms of energy. Protomatter is the most convenient for it. So I'm going to put this in layman terms. So when in Star Trek II, when the Genesis device exploded, it ignited when the Reliant, it went out and took pretty much the entire nebula, the Reliant, and transformed that into an entire star system. So I don't know if that answers your question or not.
Yeah, it answers the question I had, but I'm still kind of lost without the ability to talk to Caleb. Because what I was going to do kind of his character would have to make a decision. So,
Sorry, I'm here. I've just been doing some other stuff.
oh, okay. So if you've arrived, then we can walk inside the cargo bay. Where I assume, because I was intending to go where the Genesis device is, so I assume it's there.
It is there.
So, Caleb, you heard everything the GM said about what it would entail to disable or destroy the device and what the possible outcomes could. Well, we had him for a second.
Well, dang.
Sorry, was that directed at me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. If not disposed of properly, Commander, the Genesis device, or Captain, the Genesis device could result in an explosion such as we saw with Captain Kirk and Noonien Singh.
Do you think with the proper resources you could attempt it safely? If you had a little bit of time?
With time and a great deal of patience, I possibly could, Captain.
Would you if I asked you to?
Yes, sir.
And Commander, you're firm in your opinion that you do not wish to be a part of this?
I feel duty-bound to remind you of your orders, sir.
That's not what I asked you, Commander.
That is my answer, sir.
Well, I wish it could have been different. Lieutenant?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Would you please escort the commander to their quarters? I'm confining him to his quarters. Or her. Him or her, I can't remember. Him to his quarters for the duration of our trip, with no access to comm panels.
Sir?
Are you willing to carry out that order, Lieutenant?
Yes, sir. Follow me, please. Terribly sorry about this, sir.
Wish it could have been different, Commander.
Captain, you're making a mistake. Come on, Lieutenant. I know the way.
Yes, after you, sir.
Lieutenant Calum, I think it's time we get started.
Aye, sir.
Captain to helm officer.
Helm here, sir.
Don't we have a helm officer?
I do not think I am on the ship yet.
Not yet.
Oh, I thought it was you were just a random person that we'd never met before, but suddenly popped up. Okay, helm. Answer to warp 1.
Sir, we're only 45 minutes away from Narendra.
How long would it take us at warp 1?
Weeks, sir.
That's the order. That's the order. We have a issue in Cargo Bay 3, and we need to proceed carefully for a little while. We will be resuming normally shortly, so come to warp 1 until otherwise notified.
Aye, sir. And it's kind of odd because you normally don't notice it, but you feel a little jolt as the inertial dampers are trying to compensate for the sudden decrease in speed.
Well, Calum,
Yes, sir.
get to it. I can't guarantee how long we have.
I understand, sir.
And I'll move over to the cargo bay and lock the door onto my order.
I'm going to try to do something on my way to my quarters.
Okay, let's hash that out real quick because I don't think Calum is in roll 20 yet. So, what are you exactly going to do, Commander?
Oh, I'm going to speak with the lieutenant.
Okay.
Lieutenant,
Commander.
I would like to request a medical checkup, please.
Very well.
Of course, he can come to
Go
my
to-
quarters. I mean, you can't exactly violate your orders.
Actually, true. Dr. Starks, can you please meet me at the XO's quarters, please? He respawns. I'm sorry I have to do this, Commander. As y'all are walking down the hall.
Well, we all make our choices, Lieutenant. Just make sure the ones you can live for.
Well, that's a fair way to look at things. The doctor should be at your quarters, sir.
Oh, and not to tell you your job, Lieutenant, but you may wish to report this to the head of security since they won't be able to check in. Also the other department heads. Aside from Lieutenant Caleb, of course, he's already aware of my presence.
I will do that as soon as I get you to your quarters, sir.
And I do actually walk to my quarters because I don't want to get her in trouble.
To be fair, she'd lay you out, but if you tried.
Yeah, but I have discrimination. I go to my quarters, though.
She does too.
Does too.
I have more. I can lose values. Anyway, I go to my quarters.
Yeah.
And I wait for the doctor.
You promised us a fight, though.
And the doctor will arrive and chime the door.
Come in, so I can keep you out.
I mean, that's true. That doesn't mean I have to be rude about it.
Oh, you haven't heard, Doctor. I'm confined to quarters.
What'd you do?
Trying to uphold our orders. You might want to come in before I keep talking.
Very well. And he comes in and notices his wife and goes, "Right, you were the one that called me."
Yeah. I sit down.
Needed a medical scan?
Yes. Full physical if you can with what instruments you have. And I'm just gonna talk aloud for a second. Now, just muse to myself. And yeah.
All right. He starts doing the full physical exam. And no, she's on Narendra.
So,
Okay.
the thing I have to wonder.
Go ahead.
No, go for it.
You want me to roll?
I'm gonna give a task while he's doing this, but go ahead and speak. I'll just type it on Roll20.
Okay.
Well, Doctor, here's the thing. I have to consider that there are certain duties a Starfleet officer has to do, and one of the higher ones, is to follow lawful orders, and from my superiors. And the thing is, this ship is now in the possession of a rather dangerous device, and the ship is currently on order to transport that device into the care of Narendra Station, into the hands of Starfleet intelligence. Now, I also have a duty to my captain to ensure that I carry out his orders. However, now I'm in a certain conflict, psychologically speaking, philosophically speaking, where a captain is about to countermand the orders of a superior. I have done my best to work with this captain and try to facilitate his orders and try to keep him out of trouble, but he seems rather hell-bent on countermanding our standing orders. For that, I have been confined. Now, I had an option there and then to do something dramatic, like pull my phaser and demand his arrest or something, but I'm a new face. I don't know these people as well. I've only been here for a few weeks, and, well, I just got escorted to my quarters. So the only thing I can do is inform the other heads of departments, possibly contact the Admiralty. But, however, my access has been limited, and I cannot communicate outside of the ship on the captain's orders. Now, it's one thing for me to endanger my career, but it's a whole other thing to endanger someone else's wife or a junior officer on something that I consider rather important. I'm not sure what to do. All I can do is try to act as my parents would expect me to, and act in peace, openness, and hope that someone out there will do what's right. Oh, yeah, I have a really stuck elbow. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it just seems to be a little bit of tendonitis. It should go away if you stop trying to play racquetball in the holodeck.
Yes. Well, I've had to bend over backwards a little bit, so my back's a little strained too.
That's funny. Funny medical joke. I like that.
Well, one of us thought so.
So, sorry, this is me just speaking out loud as I'm still running the scan, keeping up appearances. What exactly is being planned to do with that device that caused you, other than saying you wouldn't participate?
Oh, it's about to be disassembled and destroyed without ever seeing the intelligence's hands. And our good Lieutenant Calum is being asked to take it apart. So, yeah, that's a problem. On the best case scenario, he might be able to take it apart and it'll be destroyed. Worst case scenario, we're all gonna die. So, I like to think optimistically.
Yeah. That's fair. Well, I'm all done here, Commander. Just rest that elbow and maybe lay down for a few hours, straighten out your back. Should do you some wonders. And I will go and put this report into your medical log in sickbay.
Thank you, Doctor.
And he just kind of nods at Neandra and sickbay. Not happy with what he has to do next.
And Joan gets himself something to drink, because goddamn.
Yeah. I like that replicator noise.
Thank you.
Your drink has appeared.
I guess Neandra would have left with the doctor, seeing as you're in down. But the doctor goes to sickbay, so call.
So, who's on the bridge?
No player characters.
Okay.
Unless you count Carrick, but yeah.
Well,
the player.
For all intents and purposes, I'd kind of like to nullify Carrick because I would rather have asked Carrick, so I'd kind of prefer Carrick not to be in play unless Carrick.
Oh, that's fair.
So,
because I would not have asked your wife if Carrick was actually able to play and present.
Yeah. That's fair.
So I need Neandra though to make a control plus security difficulty 1, and that is to lock the commander's quarters and restrict his access.
Yep. 1 threat. I'll spend a momentum. Sorry, I forgot we had those.
typeface.
Ooh, maxed out.
Yeah.
You might even be able to create an advantage if you wanted to.
No, not for this.
Oh no, that's not what I meant to do.
Yeah, you're at 6 momentum.
I guess if you needed actual names, I would probably say maybe Simon Teeks, and probably we really don't have anyone high enough to be in charge on the bridge, so that would just be random. Lieutenant Commander number 4.
It could be a full lieutenant as a beta shift sort of thing.
We don't have.
So
Neander's the only one.
Newman's a full lieutenant too.
Yep.
Then Newman would be in charge of the bridge right now.
I mean, we have other lieutenant commanders, but I guess.
Yeah.
Is Newman first shift? I don't like the idea of Newman. That's why I'm throwing up obstacles.
Well, she is the science officer.
Yeah, and the one who made the bomb.
No, she didn't.
Was involved in it. She was present while
No, she wasn't.
It was stolen from her facility, wasn't it?
It was, but she was involved in other research.
Okay.
She said that during the talk. Like, she wasn't even aware it was being built. Anyway, random individual on the bridge comms you, Captain. Captain, we're receiving a hail from Narendra.
I walk over to a comm panel that is not facing the device, so that if someone was looking at me, they would not see the device in the background. And I say, transfer the call to my location.
Understood. And on the screen appears Admiral Heppert. And she looks at you. Captain, is there a reason why the Sarek has dropped to Warp 1?
It's a unconfirmed engine anomaly. Should be taken care of shortly. Don't expect it to take too long, and we'll be back to normal warp. It's not so bad that we had to bring the warp core offline. It's in an ancillary EPS grid, but Chief Engineer warned me that I needed to bring the speed down a little bit so his people could work safely.
Alright, you're going to have to give me a command plus presence. Yeah. It's going to be in a post check here.
Okay. Run something by you real quick. So I do not want to enter into violence, and I think if she knew what I was doing, it would force her to interrupt me, which could lead to violence. And on that basis, I would like to reduce the difficulty of the task with my medal that I have.
Which medal is that?
It is the palm leaf of, I guess in the books it'd be the palm leaf of X mission, X peace mission, but in this case it is the palm leaf of Henai peace mission. It's when I convinced basically the two aliens in the minefield, in the asteroid field, not to kill each other over rocks.
So it is
It's
for
on-
when you're attempting to persuade someone from preventing violence. This is not really a persuasion. This is more of you lying directly to the admiral's face. So this is more of a
Okay.
deception check.
I'll
So
accept
unfortunately,
And I will use my determination on you will believe me or you will suffer. Because if she doesn't believe me, this is going to get really shitty for everybody.
I will allow it.
And it was presence command.
Yes.
I'm going to buy all the momentum and use the focus of... Does persuasion work? I guess
No.
that was already...
N-
Intimidation?
Yeah.
No, probably not.
No.
Diplomacy?
No. I think the only one that's going to be appropriate is going to be deception.
What about Starfleet protocols? Because I'm trying to invoke the fact that my engineer has issued a request to me. Like, I'm trying to run her through the protocols of the ship as my excuse. Like, to another ship captain, I'm intending for another ship captain, this would make sense. Like, oh yeah, engineers do that kind of stuff all the time. That's normal Starfleet procedure.
Okay. All right. After the roll, though, you're gonna have to give me a bunch of technobabble on the protocol.
The secondary EPS grid wasn't enough? Okay. I will endeavor to remember my hydro spanners.
Okay.
Yeah.
You spent all the momentum, so wait until I roll here.
Well, that's 2 over. And we both got complications. That's great.
All right. Get rid of that complication. So you go down to, I guess you're using the 2 momentum you gained out of that to get rid of that complication.
Yes.
All right. She's like, very well. If you don't mind, I will probably have the Aegis, since they're still docked here at Narendra. They'll come to assist if we don't hear from you within 1 hour. Would feel most comfortable if you got that device off your ship, Captain.
Yeah, I understand, Admiral, and I assure you it's under the highest level of security right now. I don't know that this will be resolved in an hour. I mean, my engineer's good, but he told me 4 hours. Probably means 1 hour, but he told me 4. So he might actually be telling the truth this time. So maybe give it half a day or so. We'll definitely keep you posted on every update.
Oops. Well, if that's the case, Captain, I'm gonna go ahead and get the Aegis ready for launch, and they'll rendezvous with you and take the Genesis device off your hands while you make repairs. Seems this could be a serious problem for the Sarek.
A wise precaution, Admiral. Is there anything further, Admiral?
No, Captain. Just keep us apprised. Admiral Heppard out. And the screen goes blank.
Caleb, you're going to have to do it now, or we're going to have to use another method that is very dangerous.
Oh, great.
And before Caleb gets back to working, I assume you're like over by the device now.
Yeah, he's over by that device.
I'm gonna go walk over to Caleb. Lieutenant, I just want to make sure, or I guess where we're going, Lieutenant's probably not even apt anymore. Tabin, I wanted to make sure you know what the stakes are here. You know what this can do, right?
Make or break or destroy an entire career.
A little more important, it can wipe out a star system if programmed correctly. Of course, I think at this point, the worst one of these has ever done is wipe out a planet and a few ships. But it could
That
be
is well,
much
sir.
worse.
I was betting on success, sir.
Well, if this doesn't work out, or in fact, if it does work out, I can lie and say I forced you. I guess I'm asking, do you want... The reason I'm doing it this way is so that no one can wipe it under the rug. It'll be on every pad in the Federation that someone was arrested for interfering with a Genesis device, rather than if we went through the natural channels and it was swept under the rug. So I guess the better way to ask is, do you want to be on that front page with me? Or do you want to be the unwilling lieutenant who was wrapped up in all of this? Did we lose Caleb?
Oh, he might have to restart the thing.
Can you guys hear me now?
Yep.
So basically, what Caleb's going to look at the captain and say is, Captain, if it comes down to court-martial, the best defense that I've got is just following orders.
If you're satisfied with that, Lieutenant. Captain to the doctor.
This is the doctor.
You're still on the bridge, right?
No, I was called away to sickbay. Do you need me?
Did you have a medical emergency?
I did. One of the ensigns got hit with a small plasma fire in a Jeffries tube.
One of the engineers?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I Delic, sir. He, I guess he just, like, or something, but I'll have him treated and I can get wherever you are momentarily.
Oh, I didn't need you where I was. I needed the person who is in the chair. Who did you leave in the chair?
That would be Newman, sir. Zoe.
Okay. You may be needed on the bridge very shortly.
All right, I will do my best to finish with Mr. Delix quickly, and then I will head back to the bridge, sir.
Yeah, call me when you get to the bridge.
Yes, sir.
Or if at any time you feel the need, you know, Sarek's out. Captain to the bridge.
Lieutenant Newman here, sir.
Lieutenant Newman, take us to Red Alert and have all non-essential personnel to their quarters. No communications in or out of the ship to any vessel unless authorized by me.
Sir, is everything all right?
Are you able to carry out that order, Lieutenant? I can't go into details at the moment.
Sir, may I remind you this is a high breach of protocol.
There's
we are in friendly territory.
There's a very tenuous situation going on, and I need you to follow that. If you're not capable of it, I can have you replaced.
Understood, sir.
If you have any questions, now's the time to ask them, but I can't guarantee you I can answer them.
So, so he's like, yes, sir. And the ship goes to Red Alert.
I'm gonna kneel over, Caleb. Is there anything I can help with?
Don't really know right now, sir. I'm just getting into it.
Alright, so I'm going to do this sort of in intervals, because this feels fair, because everybody's wanting to do something at the same time. So, let's put it this way. The Aegis is currently probably at high warp, straight to the Sarek. So they'll be a lot quicker than what you guys would have gotten there, since they're probably going to do warp 9.9. So what's normally a 45-minute trip will probably take them minutes. In that case, I'm going to do each interval, give you guys, I'm going to say, to make this fair, let's go with 12 intervals. 2 intervals. You eat up 2 intervals by doing 1 task and 1 interval to move out the ship. Each interval will represent roughly 10 seconds of worth of time. So with that, who would like to go first?
The doctor.
Okay. What is the doctor wanting to do?
He is going to do what he was planning to do, which is is basically send a report or communication to Narendra. But before everything else happened, but yeah.
Okay. So this is going to be a control plus engineering, difficulty 1, since the ship is on lockdown, assisted by the ship's communications plus engineering.
Okay. Take a threat. Thing. I got the one.
Just need the ship.
Nobody wants to roll the ship.
What do you need for the?
I think it's computers engineering.
Yay.
Yep.
It's communications engineering.
Oh.
Sorry.
Oops.
Son of a monkey.
I don't know why Complication Ranger's at 2.
Oh. Okay. Well,
That's not a complication. So
Yeah,
you do succeed. You have a direct line to Narendra. You guys are down to 10 intervals.
Yep. I assume I can use like a free action to talk to somebody, or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll do that in this task.
Yeah. Dr. Starks to Narendra Station.
This is Narendra Station.
Can you transfer me to the Admiral, please? This is an emergency.
Of course. One moment. On screen comes the Admiral. Dr. Starks, I just finished a subspace call with your captain. What can I do you for?
I believe the captain may be acting a bit out of character. He has, from what I can tell, wrongfully confined the XO.
Under what grounds has he confined the XO?
To be fair, I believe it was the inability to carry out an order. I was told.
And what order was that?
I believe he was ordered to assist in the taking apart of the Genesis device and destroying it.
He's doing what?
From what I can tell, the captain is planning on destroying the Genesis device, and the commander was against it, and he confined him to his quarters.
And she does a face palm as she's quiet for a moment, and that's when the red alert signs go off. And Dr. Starks, if you feel that Captain Starks has been mentally compromised in any form or fashion, you are authorized to, under your medical opinion, to relieve Captain Starks of his command.
Yes, sir.
And if there is no medical judgment against Commander Jonah, you are to release him immediately, and he is to resume command of the USS Sarek.
Yes, sir. I will get right on that.
The last thing I want, the Aegis is currently on its way at maximum warp. It'll be on your position within a matter of minutes. Do pray tell that there is not a firefight to ensue.
I will do my best to prevent it, Admiral.
Admiral Heppard out.
Sarek out. And he gets up out of his chair and goes to the commander's quarters. That's his thing.
That's 9 intervals. Who wants to go next?
I would like to ask Caleb a question if he's going to go next, like in character.
All right, I will allow that. Won't use up an interval. So.
Okay. So I would know that the Aegis is coming at maximum warp because she told me they were on their way. And so I would also know that it should only take how long? Like, in character, I know how long I've got, right?
You realize that if the Aegis is coming, that they're incredibly faster than your ship. You could probably outrun them for a short time at maximum warp, but they will eventually catch up to you.
Well, what I want to know is how long I've got left before
Minutes.
the Aegis is...
It's literally minutes.
Then I'll look at Calum. Calum, you have a couple of minutes. Can you do it in a couple of minutes?
I don't know, sir, but I'll try. And
Lieutenant, if you can't do it in about 2 to 3 minutes, we're gonna have to push it out the side, shoot it, and hope for the best. That could be very dangerous for all of us.
I understand, sir. I'm gonna use that console over there to try and link with the mainframe of this Genesis device. Of course, that's what Calum says.
That doesn't make me feel good.
You may or may not have gone off the rocker this time, Captain.
Calum does move over to the console, but instead of trying to access the Genesis device, he tries to shut down power to the weapons.
So you're wanting to pretty much take out the proto matter, correct?
No.
He's saying the ship's weapons.
The ship's weapons?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. This is essentially me a daring plus engineering.
Yeah.
Difficulty 2.
Focus and EPS power systems.
Sure. Now, what are you wanting to use this focus in terms of trying to essentially create feedback?
Sorry, ignore that roll. It came out of nowhere.
Basically, yeah, create feedback through the phaser arrays to essentially burn out the phaser coils.
Okay. All right. Yeah, difficulty 2. Daring plus engineering. Any complication that you get for this if you do roll a complication, you could actually rupture several EPS conduits along the Sarek. And
Well,
I'm
then
going to spend 2 threat to make the complication range go up by 1. So it'll be complication range 2.
Okay, then in that case, I'd like to spend my determination with the value precise to a fault.
Okay.
And with that, I'll just roll the 2.
All right.
Oh, shit.
Can we spend 2 momentum to negate the
We
complication?
don't have any.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
You do get a momentum out of that. And when you do that, it does take the phaser arrays offline, but I have a sound effect. Maybe. Guess not. I think it's only on the other game. So yes, in doing so, Deck 8, the power conduits rupture inside Deck 8, causing a blackout on half the ship in the saucer section.
Do we either notice the blackout or feel the explosion?
Oh, you definitely feel and hear the explosion.
I look at Caleb. What's happened, Lieutenant?
Checking, sir. Looks like an EPS power conduit just down the hall overloaded.
I look at, I think for a second. We're losing too much time. You don't even know how long it's going to take you, and we've got only a couple minutes. Bring the phasers online.
I can't, sir. That EPS rupture took the phasers offline.
Do you have torpedoes?
Yeah.
You didn't... Well, it might be time for us to leave the cargo bay then, Lieutenant. And I'm going to motion for him to leave the cargo bay with me.
Aye, sir. Let me just set the automatic decompression system.
All right,
And-
you guys are.
Well, my intention is to only walk out straight outside the door, so I'm not going like 3 decks away. I'm going to walk right outside the door to one of the panels that's on the wall of the ship. And then I'm going to do things from that panel. So, like, I'm going to walk like 10 or 15 feet.
Okay, so you guys are down to 7 intervals. Calum went. Who's next? I believe the commander wanted to do something.
If the captain wants to do something, he can. But I do want to do something.
Okay, then I'm going to go out to one of the panels, and my intention is to decompress the chamber, and once the device has been sucked out, I will be first firing at it, and then second trying to send us to maximum warp. That may be too much at one time, but that's the intention.
I will allow the. So it'll have to be an NPC activate or a supporting character activated on the bridge to go to warp, and that will use up an interval. So by you doing this task, moving. I'm not going to count as one interval because you're just kind of stepping outside. I mean, the interval would just be if you were the one interval if you were moving from one part of the ship to the next, like from say the cargo bay to the bridge.
Okay.
Yeah. So it would be.
And I will say my intention was to override the consoles and do the tasks myself. But if I can't, then I guess I'll try to.
This is going to be a control plus engineering to vent the cargo bay. Okay. So it is a difficulty 0 though.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead and take a threat.
Alright.
Good lord.
Well, at least you hit a 0.
Yeah. I mean, I still did it, I guess.
So you're down to 5 intervals. The cargo bay decompresses.
And then are we on the next task, or do I still have the ability to shoot / go to warp? Can I only do one of those?
So
can I do none of those?
Cargo bay is decompressed, but that doesn't mean. I mean, the device is still in the cargo bay.
I mean, I was intending violent decompression so that it got thrown into space.
Oh, well, that actually would have probably been a daring engineering. That would have been more of a difficulty. Have been in difficulty 1. So,
If
you want to,
wanna
I will allow you. I will allow you. Yeah, because there's a little confusion part. I will let you re-roll that using daring plus engineering. You can still roll the 3 dice since you gave me threat. All right. So yeah, you gain 1 momentum out of that, and the Genesis device and also everything in the cargo bay has been jettisoned into space.
So now about the shooting / warping / not able to do any of that yet. How does that work?
So that's going to be another interval, and that has to be someone on the bridge.
Isn't power to the bridge offline?
It was just deck 8, 9, or whatever it was.
Deck 8 and half of the saucer section is offline.
Oh.
Is it upper or lower half then?
Front or back?
It would actually be the lower half because it is deck 8.
So then the bridge still has power.
But I have 2 threats. Let's make it interesting. Let's make it interesting. Complication. There's a cascading failure of EPS conduit kind of ruptured throughout the set. Another deck on the saucer section has gone offline, and the saucer section will be without a power within 4 intervals.
Wait.
Oh, that's fun.
Oh, crud. I just realized.
Before we split, can I tell Caleb something? Because I'm assuming we just felt the violent shocks again.
Yeah.
Caleb, you might need to get to engineering to see what's going on.
Maybe.
We're not going to be able to do what we need to do if the ship starts falling apart. I have no idea what's causing this, but I need you to stop it.
I understand, sir.
And yep, I'm gonna head off to. I guess do I know at this point that the bridge is without power? I don't think I know that.
You don't know that.
Okay.
But the lights are definitely flickering on the deck you're at.
Am I in the saucer section?
You are in the saucer section, yes.
Okay, well, I will cede the floor before I say anything else.
The doctor would like... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, it depends if the doctor gets me yet or not. But if the doctor has got to me, I'll deal with that. If the doctor hasn't, my character would... Actually, no, with the power out, I can't get at the machine.
It's not out yet on where you're at, but...
Yeah, I'm going to try to access the communication system discreetly because with the red alert, I'm, alarmed. And I think things have escalated. So
this is going to be a difficulty 2. Daring plus engineering. This is by the ship's communications plus engineering.
What's the difficulty again?
2. Now, I will allow this to exceed a cost if you fail, but the cost will be, essentially if you succeed at it, you do get a clean connection and no one detects you. But if you succeed at cost, someone's going to know.
I would have had to resort to an old code or something I got through. Uh-oh, now everyone knows I did it. I'll give you a threat.
All right.
For an extra die. None of my focus. Gambling is the loosest, and I'm not really gambling. I'm going with my actual training, so.
Okay.
And I'm not going to burn a value over this. Bang. The ship might save me here.
Isn't the ship working against you?
That's a good question.
No, technically not. He is accessing a part of the ship. So it's like, oh, you're trying to get an outgoing call. Okay. So is anyone rolling for the ship? It's communications plus engineering.
I've already reached my limit for pages open.
Oh.
Hey, so you get a secure connection to Narendra.
I asked to be connect. This is Commander Joan. I need to speak with the Admiral. Urgent.
So the ensign kind of looks a little perturbed by this. Is like something must really kind of look at you like right away. I'm guessing this is dire for the Sarek because this is the third call, and he connects you to the Admiral. And the Admiral comes on screen. She's like, Commander Jonah. I just told the doctor to. I'm aware of some of the doctor has apprised me of your situation, and I sent the doctor to fetch you out of whatever predicament you're in. And
How long ago was that, Admiral?
Seconds.
Oh, okay. I must have just called you directly after him. But yes. Captain's trying to destroy the Genesis device. I'm trying to get out. Do you have orders for me, Admiral?
You are to take command of the USS Sarek and relieve Captain Starks of his command.
Can I get that in writing, Admiral? He grins at that like he's not believing what he's doing right now.
I have already sent the orders to the Aegis on the situation. They will be in range within a matter of minutes.
Admiral, we'll comply.
Good luck.
Thank you, Admiral.
And as if timing from above, you hear the chirp at the door.
We'll cut to that.
But, yep.
Yeah. Dr. Sarks, you arrive as the timing of plot is on your side, I guess.
Hooray, plot.
You're down to 3 intervals.
Yeah, he basically opens the doors on the commander's room and says, "You're free to leave, Commander."
Thank you, Doctor. I've been ordered to take command of this ship and detain the captain, Captain Starks. For the time being, you'll be my second, unless otherwise noted.
Yes, sir.
Doctor, you need to convince your family member to do the right thing before this escalates, before I get to the bridge. Understand me?
Yes, sir.
Good work. For what it's worth.
He's like, yeah. You can tell he's not exactly thrilled about what he just had to do.
Yeah.
But I will do what I can, sir. He basically just steps aside so the commander can leave his quarters.
Yep. I'm going to be making my way to the bridge.
All right. That will eat up 1 interval. You go down to 2. I allow the doctor
To go with him? Just
yeah.
as the one? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what he's doing. I'll be right back.
Oh, Doctor, why are you following me? Go to the cargo bay. Cargo bay 3.
Because if I know my cousin, he will probably be heading here towards the bridge.
Good point. Never mind. You're with me then.
Yes, sir.
Oh. But yeah, we both. I suppose we're heading to the bridge. I think it's only fair that we cede the floor back to the captain, or Calum. Either way.
I believe Calum was ordered to go to engineering and stop the cascade.
Yep, and since he knows exactly what caused it, it should be relatively easy, correct?
One hopes.
Correct, but you don't actually have to go to main engineering for that. You can actually stop it right there where you're at, because that's where the problem originated from.
Then in that case, the captain tells me to go to engineering. He heads off to the bridge, and I'm just like,
I didn't say I was headed to the bridge.
oh,
Yes.
well, I thought you were headed somewhere else.
I am headed somewhere else. It is not.
Well, then wherever. Okay. He waited for you to leave and then turned to the console and just.
So this is the last interval, and after this task, the Aegis will come out of warp, next to the Sarek, well, in front of the Sarek. So, to stop the cascading effect, let's make this, I would say either daring or control, plus engineering, difficulty 3.
Okay. Oh, good grief. I wish I had swapped that out already, but I have it. Oh. I'm going to spend the momentum and give you 2 threat.
Okay. Hey, you
That's 4.
succeed. Alright, you gain, well, actually you get the momentum back. So yeah, you stopped the cascade. There is still power failure on half the saucer section. Phasers are offline because they are completely burnt out. And with that...
let me tell you where I was headed before you, because I'll already be there because I spent an interval to get there. I'm going to the battle bridge because of all the lights flickering and the fact that I don't want someone to stop me when I get there, and I know that there are people on the bridge who will stop me.
Or at least might stop you, because you've been talked back to a couple times.
Yeah, I don't. At this point, he does not have confidence at all that Newman would shoot the device. He doesn't think he can convince Newman in the 2 minutes that are left to shoot the device. So I'm headed to the battle.
But with that, so at this moment, everyone will arrive at their locations, and on the view screen, Doctor and Commander, you see the Aegis coming straight out of warp. Newman stands up and she kind of looks at Tuvia, looks at you like this, her eyes are wide open, like, what the hell's going on expression.
By order of Admiral Hepburn, I am taking command of the ship. Captain Starks is to be arrested immediately as he is relieved of duty. If you wish to confirm, hail the Aegis. They have the written order.
Understood, sir. And she walks back to her station, like, not sure what to do, but...
Okay. Doctor would say, to locate Captain Sarek and detain him. Ed's talking, but he's muted, I think.
That's because he's driving right now.
So, whatever anyone else intends to do, without... I'm on a mission. I don't intend to talk to anybody at this point. My mission is to... first, to send out a warning for all ships to leave the area because the Genesis device is about to explode. Second, to shoot the Genesis device. And third, to warp out.
Okay, so I think we're gonna go into let's go into combat initiative here. That seems fair.
Well, so it may change if... I don't know how to say it without giving away too much, but if a signal from the Aegis comes and the Aegis refuses to leave, things might change.
So ways is gonna play out. So one person goes, then the Aegis,
Okay.
then the Sarek, back and forth.
Okay.
So.
And out of fairness, probably you get the first move for the Sarek, just because you've kind of had a head start on. That would be my suggestion.
It is up to you guys as the player who is to go first on the Sarek.
Well, if I go first, then there's a wide beam communication for all ships to leave the area. A Genesis device is about to explode.
Okay. This is going to be a control plus engineering system by the ship's communications plus engineering.
And quick
I'm assuming
question: Does Sorry.
Now, question, Captain: is everyone on the ship going to hear this as well?
Well, there's no way for me to stop them because I'm just using the communications console to send a signal out. Because I don't actually know that the Aegis is here yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, in general, I know they're coming. So I'm saying, in general, to everyone in this area, leave now. So yes, if they're listening or paying attention, it will show up on a console.
All right. So, yep, difficulty is 0. So
I'll spend the momentum.
All right.
Okay. Got it back. Or got 2.
Yeah,
which is
got
actually
2.
pretty bad for me in this case, I think.
Yeah, I'd like to spend the 2 momentum to keep initiative if my turn.
Well, you can also spend it to do a swift task and literally photon the Genesis device. But
hold on a second.
There is an assist from the ship, so that's communications plus engineering.
That's a good idea.
Crud.
Communications engineering, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Then
you're at 2 momentum.
I'll fire the torpedo.
Okay, so the Genesis device is it's actually smaller than a scale 1. So it is going to be
close contact.
It is close. You are firing torpedoes, so that's a +2 difficulty increase. So that's 5 difficulty plus on top of the size, so that's difficulty 6. And you're using a swift task to do an override, so that is a difficulty 7.
Oh,
yeah,
that's rough.
Well, I'll For the good of the fun and all that, I'll go ahead and try anyway. I'm gonna challenge preparation is key to any plan because there's no preparation here.
Seat of your pants.
All right.
And I'll spend it on I will fight to victory or death.
Okay. All right.
And this is control security?
It is yes, it is control security. You are firing the torpedoes though, so I do gain 1 threat.
Yeah.
Because you're using torpedoes.
And then obviously I'll buy up to the 5th dice from threat.
That is 5 threat.
Oh! Before I challenge that value, let me roll veteran.
You might have gotten lucky earlier. Nope.
I didn't get it. Okay. Oh, shit. That's 5. Let me see what the ship rolls. But I'll probably burn a value to reroll those zeros. So it's weapons security?
Yes, weapons security.
Okay. So I'm at 6. I only need 1 more. I'm gonna burn. I will protect my crew and spend it on I will fight to victory or death.
Okay. Because this could definitely kill you and the entire crew.
Oh,
That's 8.
good grief.
And we're all dead.
So that's 8, so you gain a momentum out of that.
Teeks has his job cut out for him.
Yeah, the torpedo shot hits the Genesis device. There is a big energy buildup.
Oh, crap.
It goes to the Aegis. They detect that, which I gotta pull up their sheet. So I am not about to blow up the Aegis here. Why not? Spending a threat. Okay, well, with their ship's momentum pool, yeah, they pretty much buy that complication off, and the Aegis goes to warp.
Bastards.
But you do get a communication from the Aegis as it goes away, and they literally say, "There is a massive energy buildup. USS Sarek, please get out of there." And it goes back to you guys. If you don't go to warp now, the Genesis device will explode, and yeah, you're all dead.
Caleb's going to react on his con officer intuition.
What, Caleb? Before you do anything, your best chance of success is to use Teeks because he has a value here, and he's at the console. You would get an difficulty for not being at.
Well, I was going to say Neandra could do it too. She has one.
Yeah, but he's at the console. He's got a good control con. He's got the value, and he's got helm operations.
GM, what is the difficulty of warping away?
Difficulty, yeah. So difficulty is going to be 2, but I'm going to spend some threat because
yeah.
Why not? It's me difficulty 5.
Hey! If we die here, you don't get credit. Okay.
No, this is all on you. This is all on you.
I'm going to direct Teeks to warp us out of here.
Okay. Then in that case, Teeks is going to burn his value. I do what I must to defend the ship / crew.
You need to burn the determination and spend it on that.
Yeah.
He has determination.
Yeah. He has a focus in Helm Ops.
Oh, and if this goes tits up, Commander, since you're now the captain, you can give him a momentum to reroll if you need.
Determination, but yeah.
Yeah.
Oh goodness, I don't want to do this.
Spend all the threat. You gotta make it.
Yeah, I've got to. I've got no choice.
I do assist. Sorry, I had my SO came by and I wanted to say hi to them.
Yeah. So right now I have a chance for 6 successes. Maybe more.
Whoops.
And that's... Let me get the shit back.
It'll be an engines con, I think. So yeah, Prax, you go up to 7 threat.
Alright. Ship didn't help.
Oh, okay. So my talents don't help. So all I can do is command.
That's 4.
I think it's command presence to assist to direct somebody.
Yeah.
Yes. Command presence.
Could I argue troubleshooting or combat tactics for the focus?
What else? You know what? I will take gambling.
I'll take gambling.
I'll take your. Yeah, I'll take gambling. We'll go with that.
That's 5.
Oh yes, that's 5.
And the Sarek safely warps away.
Are we, like, do I know that we've warped at this point? Can I see the panel?
You can feel it. Yeah,
okay.
You can feel it that the ship has warped away. But in the as the Sarek warps away in the view screen, you see a tiny explosion. As the Genesis device attempts to, since it's empty space, pull in matter to reconfigure it, but there's not enough. So all that's kind of really left there is maybe some rocks.
Then I'll sit down in the command chair of the battle bridge and open a channel to the bridge. This is Roland to the bridge.
Commander Joan here. Go ahead, Captain.
I'm unarmed and on the battle bridge. You have your orders. Rolling out. And I'll take my phaser out and kind of look at it for a second and then just toss it across the bridge.
I'm leaving the music because this is fitting. This is very fitting, I think.
And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna take the pips off my collar and just hold them in my hand for a second.
Security team there. Or goes to see him.
So with that, I'm assuming the security team enters the battle bridge, phasers drawn, pointing at Captain Starks. Assuming Neandra's there?
Yeah, she's probably leading the team. Because she is senior tactical officer at the moment. Sir, I'm going to need you to come with me. And she goes to, like, if they're, like, manacles, I guess, to take him to the brig. And,
those won't be necessary. And I'll start walking
Yes.
to the brig.
So, yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'll be in a minute. I'll be in a minute.
Caleb, you just muted your headphones, not your mic.
Sure, I can do that.
Oh, he can't hear us. Why would I say that?
Yeah.
But, yeah, she leads him away. Takes him to the brig.
If it's any consolation, Lieutenant, you did the right thing.
It's not me, Roland. She purposely doesn't use your rank.
I'll just continue the rest of the way in silence.
Yep.
I would like to speak with you. Well, before I say I continue the rest of the way in silence, he'll say one last thing. I'd like to speak with Andor, if you get the chance to see him.
Oh, I'm sure the commander will have him speak to you at some point. And I will also let him know that you would like to speak with him.
And then I'll walk in silence.
Bridge security, do you have him?
He just dropped for a sec.
Yeah, sorry. Drop me. What I said?
You were asked if you had me in custody.
Oh, yes, sir.
Stand down from red alert. Hail the Aegis.
Acknowledge, and then on screen is Captain Griffin. USS Sarek. Is Captain
Commander...
Starks under...
Go ahead.
What is the status of Captain Starks?
Captain Starks is in custody, Captain. We were unable to get to him before he fired. Request escorts to Narendra Station for the detainment and transfer of the prisoner, Captain Starks.
Agreed. Captain Starks is to be confined to the brig until you reach Narendra. Proceed at warp 8.8. Assuming your damage is not too severe. We're showing extensive damage to the weapons array.
I'll have a full report. I just stepped onto the bridge a minute ago, but we'll try to comply. If we can't go that speed, I'll call you back and let you know what our operational speed is, Captain.
Understood. EJ's out.
Commander Joan to all hands. By order of Admiral Hepburn, I have taken command of this ship, and I have been ordered to arrest Captain Starks. At this time, we are being escorted by the USS Aegis to Narendra Station. Thank you all for your patience, and please, all stations, report your status to the bridge. Bridge to engineering.
Engineering here.
What's our effective warp speed at this time? And how much damage have we taken?
The only damage we've taken is to the phaser arrays, sir. We're good at warp 9.
All right. I want a full report on current status and any information you have at this time.
Yeah, I can tell you that right now, sir, if you want.
Oh, helpful information that might be present to this conversation. Joan, the last time you saw Caleb, he was agreeing to help me.
Yeah, there's going to be a question at the moment.
Okay.
Lieutenant,
Sir?
I want to see you in the ready room as soon as possible.
I'm on my way now, sir. I'll have a report ready for you.
Doctor, take us to the agreed upon warp. Follow after the Aegis. I'll be in the ready room.
All right. And as far as department heads, medical is fine. He just kind of... it's the first time since this has started that he cracked a smirk.
And, Starks, I want a watch on... a medical watch on your... on the captain. Oh. These are very serious charges.
Very well. I'll have Reaver do it, seeing as it would be a conflict of interest if I did. And I'm needed on the bridge.
Very good, Doctor. You're a bridge.
Thank you, sir. And he tells the con to do what the commander said and sends Reaver. Okay. And I will send, no, I'll still send Reaver, and I will go to, I will let thing, and then I will go to sickbay after telling the commander that I am needed in sickbay with the orders that he gave me.
Okay. Acknowledged.
And I will go treat the wounded.
Yes, there are wounded funneling in from Deck 8, from the EPS overload.
Yep, yeah. So I will do that.
So while we'll go ahead and go with the sick bay. So while you're in sick bay, there's a lot of burns, nothing critically. People that are like borderline gonna die, but we'll just bundle us up as a daring plus medicine difficulty 2 to get everybody, and you could actually have Reaver assist on this, or whoever else is in medical assist.
Yeah. Just for transparency, I actually sent Reaver to psychiatric thing on the captain, so I'm doing this on my own.
Oh, you're not gonna have Lily?
Wait, what?
The other twin?
Is there another person? Oh yeah, I forgot I had Lily. Yeah, she'll help me.
Right.
I don't have any momentum, so I'm going to spend a threat for a third dice, even though it doesn't really help, but eh.
Lily's really good at her job.
Yep.
That's 3 momentum.
Hooray for momentum.
Back in the captain's ready room, you get a chime at the door.
Come in.
You asked to see me, sir?
Joan just kind of standing in the center room, kind of looking around, and finally turns around to see you. I want to report, Lieutenant.
Sir, the only reason torpedoes were fired was because when the captain actively asked me to attempt to disable the jets,
you roboted out.
You're roboting it.
You were clear there for a second, so maybe just try talking again. Maybe it was momentarily.
Okay, I think I got it.
You sound clear.
Sir, the only reason that torpedoes were fired was because when the captain asked me to disable the Genesis device, I actively overloaded the EPS power conduits to the phaser arrays and burnt out the phaser coils.
Add attention, wait right there.
Aye, sir.
And I walk over to the computer. I don't sit down. I just kind of lean into the computer and type up the logs to see if that's what he actually did.
The logs confirm.
At ease. Oh, Lieutenant. There's going to be an investigation. I would advise you, when we get to Narendra Station, to speak with someone in the JAG office about what you should say or what you are required to say or not say. Far as I'm concerned, I know what you did wasn't easy, but we need to make sure this goes by the book from here on.
I understand, sir.
At this time, I do not have any evidence to believe that you acted criminally, so you are going to continue your station until I'm advised otherwise. At this time, I'm entering into your record other than the fact that I have informed you of your rights as a Starfleet officer.
Yes, sir.
Anything else you wish to say on or off the record?
Off the record, sir, up until the point where the captain was actively trying to order me to disobey Starfleet's orders, I had no reason to break protocol.
I'll be honest with you, Lieutenant. I don't know if he's going to get out of this one. Half the reason I was here was to help stop something like this from happening.
Whatever happens, sir, he dug himself into it.
That's all, Lieutenant. You're dismissed. Back to your duties.
Say yes, sir, a little eagerly. Just
if no one's going to do anything, I'll say something real quick.
I'll go for it. I'm thinking of doing something, but...
Okay. I'm guessing we've arrived at the brig, or we're about to.
We're about to. I'm intending to head down there.
I would say you've arrived at the brig.
Okay. Then before I'm locked up, I'll hit my comm badge, which no one took away. Roll into Joan.
Joan here, go ahead.
First, we probably need to tighten the security protocols for locking people up. And second, I'd really like to talk with the doctor, unless that's not an option, and then I'd like to talk to you before we get to Narendra.
Very good, Captain. If you would, please turn over your comm badge to security if they haven't taken it already. Shakes his head in the empty room. Me and the doctor will come down, and you can have your private talk with the doctor, and I'll have a word afterward.
I'll hand over the still active comm badge to, like, I guess still with a, what I'm saying is still with the channel open, I'll hand it over to Neandra and kind of nod at her.
Yep. And she goes, if it's still active, she'll, and then, yeah, she'll put it later, Commander.
I'll walk in and sit down then.
I'll step out of the ready room and motion for the doctor with me. We're gonna say hello.
He's not there.
Oh,
he came back after I treated the wounded. Unless that was going on at the same time. If that was the case, then he's still in sickbay.
Oh. I'll probably just calm down to. I'll send a comm to the doctor to meet me at the brig at his earliest convenience.
Yep. He acknowledges and does that.
And the lieutenant gets more bridge hours.
Yep.
She'll make commander a lieutenant commander at this rate.
Right?
Apparently so.
But yes, he will meet the commander at the brig.
The captain wanted to speak with you, so I'm going to give you and him a bit of time. I'll wait out here. When you're done, just come out and let me know. I have to talk with him too.
Very well. And he goes in. And looks at the security and says,
Says what?
To the security officers, if they could leave the room.
I telepathically talk to. Why would that be necessary?
And he says out loud. He says out loud, our conversation should probably be recorded.
You get a nod back.
And then he dismisses it. He dismisses the security officers.
Give me a command presence. Difficulty 1. Because they're looking at like, Doctor, we have orders to keep an eye on the captain.
Okay. Diplomacy as a focus.
It's not really a diplomatic situation. It would be persuasion.
I don't got that. Take a threat, and I'll make the roll.
Alright, get a momentum. Like, very well, Doctor. 5 minutes.
That's all I need.
And they exit.
What are you two doing out here? Sorry, I'd be standing right there seeing them leave.
The doctor ordered us to. He wanted a moment in private. He ordered us to vacate the room. We did lock the security codes in there. The doctor can't release him from the brig.
Very well, you're standing on guard outside this door with me.
Understood.
Okay. Me, Captain?
Yeah.
I guess.
I judge by your tone and the fact that you weren't on the bridge that you didn't exactly fall on my side.
It might have been different had my wife not been involved. Career I will sacrifice for. Hers, do that to her.
I asked you to help me overthrow the government of a foreign power, and you stood by. I asked you to help me break 1,000 Federation laws and put this crew in danger by entering into Romulan space, and you followed me. I asked you to disable one small weapon of mass destruction to prevent it from being used as a weapon, and that was too far.
See, in most of those instances, the danger was there. But as far as career endings, the only career it would have ended was mine.
If we had been blown up over Romulus, it would have done a lot more than kill careers.
Oh, I'm well aware. As far as Romulans are concerned, as far as I'm concerned, you're still kind of the authority in the Federation. You know, being married to one is a lovely woman. When it comes to I'm with you this time.
Well, I'm sorry it had to be this way.
I am too.
Dr. Morganth, would you like to show the commander in at his earliest convenience?
And he turns and opens the door and motions for the commander to come in, and kind of looks as if to stay or if he wants him to wait outside.
Yeah, I don't tell you anything about that, so that's up to whatever he says.
Right. Yeah. Doctor, back to the bridge, please, unless you're needed in mid-bay.
Very well. And I head back to the bridge.
You too, back in there.
Yes, sir. And
I'll step in.
they re-enter.
Captain?
If you wouldn't mind, I wanted to pontificate a little before I ended up in a black bag. I wanted to give you the reasons that you needed earlier that I didn't have time to give you.
I'm listening, Captain.
The reason I did what I did is only tangentially related to Starfleet intelligence and giving them back the weapon. They cross the line all the time, but there's always good officers to stand in between them and crossing the line. That's why they had to build the weapon in secret in the first place. And we should have had a good officer to step in and say that the weapon needed to be disposed of or sent to Starfleet Engineering for containment. And that officer should have been the Admiral. But I couldn't trust her anymore. I couldn't trust her because the last time we trusted her, she ordered us to be involved in helping a spy escape from the Romulan Empire. I can't tell you how many laws the Federation has against espionage. We arrest Romulan spies, so you can see how it would be immoral for us to be sending spies into Romulus.
If you're talking about the one instant, it was an Orion spy.
Okay.
That was during the Orion arc, so it was not Romulan.
Okay. Anyway, so I'll rephrase it.
Okay.
He was sent to He was a spy. He was sent to spy on Orions, which are not members of the Federation, and we have no right to commit espionage against them. I was also ordered to take control of a person who I didn't know if I was arresting them or not without consent or without proper laws to do so. And all she did was force me to comply with Starfleet intelligence without stepping in the way, without verifying, without checking. And then when, I don't know if you've heard about this, but we had an engagement recently where we had to deal with some Orions, and a planet called the Archon is a hairy situation. But there were signs for a while that something bad was going to happen. And she never asked for reinforcements. She never asked for anything past simple investigations until it was too late. And then, when it was time to actually solve the problem, she just abdicated and put all the responsibility on the captains to solve the problem, to come up with the solution, to find help, to destroy the Archon and their fleet. She couldn't be relied on when it counted. She couldn't be trusted when it counted. And then we come to the Romulus situation. She sent a ship, one ship that's over 75 years old, alone into enemy space to retrieve a weapon that was in her sector of space that she had lost track of. She didn't even know it was there in the first place. That's how uninformed she was. And she sent one small ship to get it back. We had no right to survive what we survived. There's no way we could have survived it except through sheer luck. And we only had to go into that situation because of our ineptitude. I could not allow a weapon of mass destruction to pass through her station. She has failed us countless times and almost gotten us killed at least 4 or 5 times. That's why I had to destroy the weapon. Thank you for letting me tell you why. I fear you're the only person who's ever going to hear that.
Officer, do you have a isolated pad stored away somewhere? Something that can be accessed into but doesn't get anywhere else in the ship for the prisoner?
I believe so, sir.
Hand it to me, please.
Ruffles through some pads. Just input the command and you can deactivate it remotely and isolate it from the rest of the ship systems.
I'll examine the pad and check it over. Just make sure they did it right, because now I don't know. When they hand it to me, I mean.
They hand it off to you.
Yeah. I'll type at it, make sure the captain should be able to get access to like a word processor program on the pad or something like that.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for all intents and purposes, it's there's nothing on it, and it's not tied to the ship.
I walk up to the field and get ready to hold out the pad. Pull down the shield, please. Passing this through.
Security officer pulls out his phaser and lowers the force field.
And I very lightly kind of huck it gently at the captain so he can grab it, catch it, or let it fall at his feet.
I'll catch it.
Shield up.
And the force field comes back online.
Captain, write down as much as you can recall. I'm going to do what I can.
It'll at least be cathartic, Commander, but last time I was in a situation like this with the Chief of Starfleet Operations and a Rear Admiral on my side, I was still found guilty of a crime far less against the same Admiral who had given the same illegal orders. This paddle helped me process my thoughts, but it won't save me.
No, but I need some ammunition if I'm going to make any more moves, because I don't know if they're going to let you make any more.
It's too late. You had that chance.
I disagree. Any special requests for food or drink? Set of clothes, perhaps? Favorite book?
He jokingly says, I guess cyanide, if you got it, might be the appropriate time.
Captain, as the commanding officer of this ship, I'm ordering you not to die on me. Not just yet, anyway. Half the reason I was out here was to help you.
It may take you and half of Starfleet to do that. Good luck, Commander.
Yeah, that seems to be most of my job. Captain. And I'll turn to them. What are your names? And they can just give me their names. You don't really need them. My character's just getting them from them.
Yeah, they give you their names. One's a lieutenant junior grade, the other one's an ensign.
I'm holding you two personally responsible for the captain's safety. Understood?
Yes, sir. They both acknowledge.
He gets a sniffle. I hear about it.
I will, if he does, sir, I will report it immediately to the doctor and have the doctor treat him.
And then after that, you're calling me.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Captain, and I'll leave.
I'll kind of let the captain's pips flow out of my hand onto the floor and sit back down and lay down on the bench.
Okay, with that, I think this is a good time for us to go to scene 2. Wow,
awesome.
That is,
sorry, Ed, we cut you off half of the episode.
Wow. Okay. So the Sarek and the Aegis arrive at Narendra Station. Retcon a couple of my notes here real quick. Yes. Yeah. Narendra hails the Sarek to
I think Shirley just canceled at this point.
I think so too. To dock immediately.
Take us in.
So, the automation controls kick in on Narendra. The helm officer takes his hand off the his console. The Sarek is guided in by the station, and where it is safely docked inside Narendra. There is an incoming hail from the station. It is Admiral Heppert.
Just a bit of upkeep here. Would I have gotten that the manifesto, if you will, of the captain? Because I don't know how many hours he's had to work on it.
It's not really hours. I mean, it's this is probably...
we were going like 8.8 or something like that. It's like minutes.
Yeah, so it was.
Remember.
You really is like 45 minutes away from
Well,
Narendra.
then
so
you have a rough draft
only-
finished.
Yeah, he only had an half hour essentially.
I mean, I already kind of had the spiel ready, so I would like to rule that there's a rough draft finished.
Okay.
My intention is to get as many copies of that on different pads. I'm gonna put around the ship, and I'm gonna have one of those pads on my person. But that's as we're getting there.
Very well. But yes, Admiral Heppard is hailing the Sarek.
On screen.
Commander Jonah, I would like to meet you on board the Sarek in the captain's ready room, and any other senior officer you wish to have witness.
Admiral, would it not be more prudent to use the conference room just for space purposes?
That is prudent.
Unless you want to use... All right, very well, Admiral. Should we come in dress, or...
No. This is not formal.
Very good, Admiral. Well, we'll be expecting you.
Understood. We'll be there shortly.
Sarek out.
So and then the V screen goes blank.
One step at a time. All senior Commander Zone to all senior staff, be ready to meet with the Admiral in the conference room inside of 30 minutes. Service dress.
I'm sitting next to him, so I'm just like sighing, like okay.
Calum from engineering will go, yes, sir.
You might as well start calling me by my birth name. Betazoid thing. I really don't want to get into it.
I understand, Doctor. I served on Beta Z for a while early in my career, so.
Yeah. And he actually looks defeated, like.
I'll get through this, Doctor. Somehow.
Yeah.
I'll have a security detail meet up with the Admiral to make sure she's not to escort her the rest of the way to the conference room, and I'll wait for her there.
Okay. So a few moments pass by. The Admiral arrives on the bridge, and then with her security escort, there is another gentleman of Vulcan in a gold-esque uniform, having Lieutenant Commander Pips. They both enter the conference room. Who is currently there? Is it the entire senior staff minus the captain?
Well, not John and the captain, because we're making a break for it. No. Yeah, I'm there.
Doctor is there. I guess Calum would be there. I don't.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah, Calum would be there.
Yeah, and as far as senior staff for science and medical, well, that's the commander and me. So yeah, everybody's there.
I'd probably pull in what's her face as well. Newman.
Which one? Both of them?
The science officer one.
Twins? Okay. Zoe.
Because she's the head of science, so. Admiral?
Well, Commander, it has been an interesting hour, to say the least.
Aye, Admiral.
This is Lieutenant Commander Volk. He is a security officer aboard the Narendra station, and he's currently in charge of the JAG office at the moment. Current JAG officer is away. He'll be conducting a formal investigation on the events that happened on board the Sarek with Captain Sarek and the Genesis device.
Very well. Any special efforts we need to make with our staff other than the mission? Does he require any of the staff of the ship, I guess, to help him with it, is more of my question.
Just make sure you hand over all data concerning the incident and what happened and the latest, I'm supposing, damage. Your last report only had minor hull breaches on various systems with some minor damage here and there. I believe your weapons array was fully functional up until lately. I'm getting all the reports correct.
Yes.
Very well.
Is there anything that you would like to add to the incident for the record before the investigation begins?
Nothing I want to add to the record other than a request that all senior staff have access to legal counsel to ensure that they comply appropriately with the investigation.
Very well. That's within their right.
And also, Admiral, do we have any ability to contact the personal and would we be able to get in contact with any personal legal representation that some of the staff may have? I know we're quite far ways out, but I don't know how long this investigation is going to take. Just wanted to see, plot out the timeline here a bit.
I'm sure we could have the USS Kepler with some legal counsel from Earth here within 11 days.
All right. If people wish to contact them, then that's their business. Just wanted to make sure we had a reasonable means for people to get their personal counsel if they have it. But that's all, Admiral.
Very well. I'm also not the bearer of good news today, apparently. Hereby on Stardate 53847.9, the USS Sarek is scheduled to be decommissioned. Once the Sarek repairs are done, it is you, Commander Jonah, we ordered to take the Sarek back to Sector 001 for its decommission.
Orders heard and understood, Admiral.
As soon as this investigation is done and the repairs are done to the Sarek that are within reason, you're ordered, as I said, stand out, or your orders are to take the Sarek back to Earth.
Question: I assume we're still to adhere to distress calls on the way and other 31 calls, or are we going to? Or is our decommission priority one? Ahead of all else.
Just due to the Sarek's speed and age, we expect the travel time to take right around 50 days, as long as the Sarek is there by the end of the year's time. But in that meantime, you are to adhere to all normal Starfleet regulations in terms of distress calls and other priority one matters along your course back to Earth.
No tourism or taking pictures. Got it, Admiral. He finally cracks a smile, but it's not really there. It's just kind of, he's trying to brighten the mood a little. Yeah, that wasn't very
Do you have
funny.
any questions for me, Commander?
No questions at this time, Admiral.
I do have a makeshift cloaking device. You are to hand that device over to here within the next few hours to Romulan envoy. They're to take that cloaking device back to their space.
Mm-hmm.
I trust there will be no issues with that.
Lieutenant Calum, how integrated is it into our system? Can we pull it out in a quick time? Or how long would it take, I guess is a better question.
I can have it out in 30 minutes.
Oh. Well. No, I don't see any particular problem, Admiral.
Very good. The last thing we need is a treaty violation at the moment.
Aye, Admiral.
Is there anything else?
I would like to speak with you privately, but formally as regards to the Sarek, nothing at this time.
Very well. If that is all, you're all dismissed.
The doctor gets up and leaves, if dismissed, without saying a word.
Yeah.
Just goes back out onto the bridge.
Lieutenant Commander, I was also the captain, was the operations officer effectively for the ship, so if you need any help getting about the ship or accessing anything, let me know and I can give over what's needed.
Very well, I will discuss after your meeting with the Admiral. If you don't mind, I believe you wish to speak with the Admiral in private. I will dismiss myself, if that is okay with you, Admiral. She just kind of nods, and the Lieutenant Commander walks out. And with that, I'm assuming everyone else files out of the conference room?
Think there was just Caleb left?
Yeah, he's on his way out.
Okay.
With the conference room clear, and Admiral Heppert and the commander standing there. You have something on your mind, Commander.
Permission to speak frankly, Admiral?
Of course.
It's come to my attention that certain things are... I've heard some rather disturbing things about the actions of the Sarek and the possible orders you've given to this ship. I have a lot of questions, and I don't know how much you can tell me. But suffice to say, I'm very disturbed. And half the reason I was sent here was to help stabilize the situation on the Sarek, and it seems to have escalated. I don't know how much you are responsible for, Admiral. I won't abuse my latitude here because I know I'm talking a lot more. You're not I've never worked with you before, so I know that we don't have that kind of professional relationship. But I really need your half of the story on what the Sarek's been doing out here, because this is some scary stuff going on, and I'm not sure if it's things you can't control or not. I've helped an admiral before negotiate a really difficult situation, and I don't know. I don't think I have the full story. I don't want to make any actions and complicate your life or your intelligence officer's life or your strategic operations officer's life or your adjunct with my poking around.
This is going to probably be a long conversation, Commander. Have a seat.
Thank you.
What would you like to know? Now, keep in mind, I can only answer things that are not classified.
Since when has Starfleet been engaging in espionage with against the Romulans? I thought we were allies. Orions. Oh, sorry.
The espionage was not against the espionage against the Orions was not against the actual Orion people. It was against a splinter terrorist organization. You could say they were deemed terrorists even by some of their own people.
Do you know the source of where that Genesis device actually came from? Who built it?
We did. apparently.
Admiral, I did not want to hear that. Admiral,
all this has become public record. The device was actually scheduled by Starfleet Intelligence and the Engineering Corps as soon as it was loaded off the Sarek and placed on Narendra to be hauled off to a remote location and safely detonated and destroyed. Apparently, the captain sought to do that himself without contacting me and lied, trying to cover things up. Nolan engaged himself in a reckless behavior. If only he followed orders this time. Or at least inclined to ask more questions.
What's going to happen to the captain?
There will be a formal trial and most likely a court-martial. He may have played his last card in his last court-martial. I cannot tell you whether or not his career could be saved or not. It doesn't look too good for him. At least not this time.
Is it going to be a on-the-record trial? Not likely public because it's a court-martial, but, you know.
It will be on the record.
Did the Romulans know we were coming after a Genesis device? We breached into their territory way deeper than I thought we were even close to allowed to.
The Diplomatic Corps is currently handling that. There was a treaty violation when the Sarek built a handmade cloaking device using Romulan technology. But the current admiral who was leading a coup, it was a necessary evil. And unfortunately, if I could have sent more ships, I would have sent more ships, Commander. But there was none available. It doesn't... I don't tread lightly when ordering a ship, potentially an older ship, to their deaths in hopes for a Hail Mary, because that's all we had at the time.
I understand. I took the command course. Sometimes you have to send someone to a suicide mission and hope they get lucky. But I can say the captain didn't seem too thrilled with it, and I have to agree with him, but I can understand.
Is there any other questions?
I'm going to take out the pad I've been holding on me. And I'm going to slide it over to her.
She picks up the pad. What is this, Commander?
A rough draft of something I asked the captain to write up, given his to see what his viewpoint was.
I see.
So...
he's within his right. It's probably best I don't see this until his thoughts are completed.
I can take that back for you if you like, Admiral.
And she hands the pad back.
May I offer some advice, Admiral?
Of course.
You might want to speak with the JAG office as well. Even with all you've said, I probably wouldn't chase you down and I wouldn't be making the call. But if I were the representation for the captain, I would be trying to push up a certain theory. So I'd advise talking to a JAG officer.
As of this moment, though, my hands are no longer tied to this investigation with the Sarek. But I was merely giving Captain Starek his orders as deemed orders from me, from other higher-ups.
Consider it a preparing for the possible worst.
My adjunct has advised me already on many things on this, so...
Never mind. Forget I said anything. Sorry, I'm used to advising admirals. But as for now, I have no other. Actually, there is one other thing. It just occurred to me. Did the captain get an order to enter Romulan space on Stardate? I think this was like 2 episodes ago. I, the player, forget. The whole follow the Admiral into the Romulan space and all that.
If that's the way you ask the question, it's probably yes.
He received orders to enter Romulan space on Stardate 53821.9. After an assault attack with 2 D-Derex warbirds in the Aegis. Though I am curious as to why the Sarek was out of position at that time.
Admiral, didn't you order it to do that?
No, I did not.
Probably a bureaucratic thing on my end, Admiral. I have no other questions.
Are you inciting that Captain Stark was willing to enter Romulan space prior to giving his orders to do so?
I have nothing but speculation, Admiral. Until I know more, I'll report to the JAG officer if I can solidify my theory. Otherwise, I'm just accusing a superior blindly.
Needless to say, Lieutenant Commander Volk's team and himself will be going through a fine tooth and comb to the Sarek's logs and computers. If you're hinting at what I think you're hinting at, there's no saving his career at this point.
I sincerely hope my speculation is completely inaccurate. Sincerely. But I will not say anything formally to you because I don't have hard evidence. I just have suspicions.
My suggestion, Commander, is you need to speak to a JAG officer yourself.
Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting, Admiral. This is going to be a very busy few days. Hooray.
Indeed it is.
I almost missed the Breen.
Is there anything else you'd like to ask me, Commander?
What's going to happen to the crew when we're decommissioned?
The crew is going to be reassigned, potentially on another vessel together or other stations.
So we won't know until we get to Earth. Okay. I'll be sure to pass that along. I'm sure someone's going to ask me that question the minute I get out of this room.
Well, unfortunately, if Captain Starks actually followed orders, I was hoping to give him medal this time. It appears that he will be receiving a court-martial instead.
Any chance you would be able to talk with the captain? Or have you been advised not to talk with him?
I think at this point it's probably safe to say he might blame me for a lot of things. We may only add more fuel to his fire. It's probably best that I stay away from him and he stay away from me for a while.
I would agree with that, Admiral. Just wanted to see if you were going to visit our brig. So that's all for me, Admiral.
Donut. She stands up from her chair. Commander, good luck.
I stand up. Thank you, Admiral.
And she walks out of the conference room.
I throw the pad against the wall when she leaves. Eventually pick it up. And then put it away and then go back to the bridge and continue my duties.
And I get out of the chair and move over a chair. Guess we're going back to Earth. At some point.
Yes,
Meanwhile,
we'll be getting. Go ahead.
Sorry. Okay. Go ahead.
No.
Go ahead. Finish that conversation, and I'm gonna cut to a different part. So.
Well, fine. I'm going to stall then. No. So we'll be heading to the Earth after this investigation and the repairs are done.
Well. He just kind of sighs and just sits back in the chair. Next.
So meanwhile, back on Narendra Station, a young lieutenant junior grade, seeing a lot of commotion as people are entering the Sarek, is quite puzzled as what is going on.
Oh, is this me?
This is you. It's about time.
Yes. So I go to a viewport and look at the ship and try to overhear conversation.
So you're peering over to the actual Sarek, and you could definitely see a lot of scorch marks on her. She has seen battle. There's quite extensive damage, especially around the saucer section, apparently, and the phaser rays on really don't look all that well.
I'll say in kind of a soft voice, I wonder what happened.
And one of the engineers who are getting ready to start doing maintenance was like, well, Lieutenant, sometimes I think it's best not to ask, especially with the Sarek. That ship is a whole mess of crazy at times.
So I guess this happened before.
Let's just say she's seen her fair share of combat on more than one occasion.
Haven't we all?
Are you being assigned to the Sarek, ma'am?
I do believe I am. I have temporary orders to transfer to Earth, and I guess that's my route.
Oh, well, good luck. As he kind of scurries off and tries to look busy.
And she'll kind of say, you too, but under her breath a little.
Most of the engineering teams look rather busy. They're kind of questioning like, I can't believe we're fixing the ship again. Will they just end it? And one person's like, I hear they're being decommissioned.
Is Calum there, like, telling them what systems need to be fixed and everything?
You being engineering, this is actually in the port.
Oh, okay.
So, Lieutenant Vogel, or Vorgel, it's Vorgel.
I think it's Vogel.
Yeah,
her last name?
Yeah, Vogel. German
okay.
for bird.
Yeah, that's right. Okay. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. What do you wish to do?
I do believe I'm going to gather up all of my personal items, and it might be time to check in with the what I would assume is the captain.
All right. So yeah. So you gather all your stuff and you board the Sarek.
And I'm guessing it's kind of crazy when I board the ship.
Oh yeah, you're having to dodge people in and out through the docking port tube and.
And as all this commotion is going on, kind of in like a shy voice, she'll ask around and like, "Excuse me, can you?" Help? As people are all rushing by.
They kind of ignore you, except you brush into like one guy. He's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry. It's kind of hectic. We're told to get this ship ready to go."
Yes, I am to report to the captain. Do you know where I can find him?
He kind of taps on the wall, and I was like, what? That's odd. Captain Starks is in the brig. Maybe best report to the bridge. Take the next junction up here, and to the left should be the turbo lift.
Thank you very much, and I try to get a rank off of him.
He's just a crewman.
Thank you, crewman. And I'll head to the turbo lift.
Alright, you enter the turbo lift. The quiet hum as it heads straight to the bridge.
Sorry, I was doing
doors open to the bridge. It's less busy, but there are people at their stations. It's a little bit moot, but when you enter, you can kind of feel a almost depressing wave hit you. Just, the atmosphere is kind of thick.
I'll try to look around to spot the commander.
Commander, where are you at?
Sitting in the chair, probably tapping at some system or another in the console in the chair.
All right, so I will walk up carrying all of my stuff, and I will stand in front of the commander at attention, and I will say, Lieutenant Vogel reporting as ordered, and I hand a pad with my orders to.
I take the pad and Lieutenant, and I start looking over the orders.
The orders are on the pad. It's a transfer, temporary transfer. Helmsman.
Lieutenant Vogel, flight. All right, Lieutenant. Are you ready to be at duty, or do you need some time to acclimate yourself?
Well, sir, I just received these orders, so I kind of look around at all my personal items. A quarters would be nice first.
Very well. I tap at it and... Oh, wait a minute. I'm the... is the doctor there?
Next to you. In the white...
Doctor, could you see that the lieutenant gets quarters and gets acclimated quickly? We need to be ready to go as soon as possible.
Yes, Commander. And he goes, Lieutenant, if you follow me, I'll show you to your quarters.
Yes, Commander. And I'll gather up my effects.
Yep. And I take her to a free officer's quarters that is empty.
Well, the captain's one's empty.
Actually, it's not. There's someone in there.
Oh,
his wife.
Yeah, we can kick her out. It's fine.
Oh God, I have explaining to do, don't I? Shit.
This isn't a bad arrangement. Captain's quarters as soon as I get on the ship. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. And but no, he shows her to the quarters, and then he explains, sick bay is on deck 2, deck 13. Honestly, I don't know, but I'm gonna say it's deck 13.
You're just deck 7.
Oh, well, deck 7 then. He knows all the decks. I don't as a player, so he explained you where sick bay, where
Sick bay, the mess hall, all the important stuff.
Yep.
The galley, the lounge,
the execution ground.
Pretty much. I thought that was cargo bay too. Oh, that's what we call it. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah, and he will at your quarters. He'll go. Just report to the bridge when you get settled in.
Yes, sir. I won't be long.
All right. And he will turn and head back to the bridge. Actually, he will make a stop at the captain's quarters first.
And I will enter my new quarters.
It's a break. No.
Damn.
You get all 4 cells to yourself.
So much storage space.
I know, right? 4 bedrooms? That's nice.
Might be a paid job.
Basically, I'm just going to put my stuff on the bed, probably get some Earl Grey tea, drink it really quick, and then probably head up to the...
All right. Meanwhile, in engineering, Lieutenant Calum Leva approaches you.
And Calum, seeing her, probably goes, "Oh boy, I'm gonna hear about it now."
And she approaches. She has this like concerned look on her face. She was like, "Tavin, is it true that the captain's in the brig?"
Yeah.
What happened?
Disobeyed direct orders from Starfleet, apparently. Destroying the Genesis device was not his job.
I see. Is he gonna be all right?
Personally, I honestly don't know. His career might be over.
That's disconcerting me. This is my first posting. I never thought I would see a captain go have a court martial. I mean, that's a rare thing that happens.
It's my first posting as well, and the captain has already had one in the past.
Well, yeah, but he was found guilty, but his career remained intact.
Yeah, but I honestly don't know this time. Let's just say I'm probably lucky I'm not in there with him.
Oh God, don't tell me you did something.
Oh, instead of helping the captain disable the Genesis device, I was the one who overloaded the EPS power grid and burnt out the phaser coils.
You caused all that damage? Oh my God.
Hey,
Tevin,
it was
are you crazy?
It was a crazy idea. I know. I was trying to keep him from doing exactly what he did.
Anyway, I have to. I'll see you later tonight. I have to get back. I was just getting some EPS relays that I have to repair for transporter room 1. Which kind of gives you a cold look.
I'm sorry. It was only supposed to be the phaser coils, not all of Deck 8. I'm new to this.
Yeah, aren't we all? And she walks off. Meanwhile, at the captain's quarters, I believe the doctor wanted to check on the captain's wife.
Yeah, I have some bad news for her. Yep. I chime the door. So.
Enter.
And he does. Just remember, did you ever give her a name?
Yeah, Sarri. Sorry.
Okay.
Do you want to play her, Captain?
Sure.
All right.
Oh, great. Hi, sorry. I have a bit of unfortunate news. Figured I should be the one to tell you this, but Roland. And as far as I know, is pending.
Oh, you cut out. You cut out halfway through there.
Oh, hold on. Let me restart. Give me a sec. All right.
So Roland did something. We don't know what that something was, and then there was a court-martial mentioned.
Roland's been arrested, pending court-martial for direct order from the Admiralty. I thought I should be the one to come and tell you.
She's gonna kind of look around for a second, not sure what to do, and then look back at you. You have influence, and he trusts you. Can you help him get out?
I can't personally, no, but I may be able to call some members of my family. They're Sarek's law retainers, so probably the best I can do, being that this is his second court-martial in less than a year.
I've got to go see him. But she's going to put a hand on your shoulder. When I was on Romulus, me and my family, especially my mother, have been fighting the Tal Shiar for a generation. he's told me in letters that something, not the same thing, but something less intense than the Talshar, but something like that exists in the Federation. I want to thank you for helping him fight them. Family kept us going in Romulus. I'm glad that you've ended up on his side, and she's gonna leave.
Yep. And he will linger in the quarters for a little bit longer and just turn and walk out. Unsure with what to do with himself now. Probably go back to the bridge, but... or to anybody on the way there. Just head down. And, you know... So yeah, he goes back to the bridge.
All right. Question for you, Commander. Who is allowed to see the captain?
As long as security is present, anyone can see him, and all conversations are to be recorded and monitored.
Okay. With that, would Lieutenant Vogel be unpacked and reporting to the bridge?
Lieutenant Vogel.
Oh, sorry. That's right then.
I'm
Yes.
assuming you're reporting to the bridge at this point?
Yes.
Okay. You arrive on the bridge.
And when I get there, I'll turn to the commander and say, requesting permission to take...
You may take the con, Lieutenant. I want you to plot me a course to Earth and make adjustments for any possible amendments we may have to do along the way. I want as fast as speed as possible. If you need, you can contact the Starbase for some extra information if they have it.
Very good, sir. I'll get right on it.
I expect it by end of day, Lieutenant.
Will do, sir. And I'll set out preparing.
So give me a reason plus con, difficulty 3, assisted by the ship's computers plus con, for the plot the course.
Take that. No.
All right, hold on. I got to find my sheet again. You said reason con?
Yes.
Right, I'm going to give you a threat.
It is a difficulty 3.
Yep. Astrophysics or navigation work?
Both of them would apply.
Cool. And then I'll re-roll that 0.
I just need the ship.
Ship engines con?
It's ship computers plus con.
Computers con.
Someone getting it, or you want me to get it?
Someone's getting it. I saw someone click over to computers. Oh, there it is. No, it isn't. Oh, that was okay. Caleb, well, got the same result anyway.
Yep.
I didn't know who was changing it around.
Well, there's
So
the 3
yes.
successes.
Yep. You have a course plotted, the most optimal routes. It will, at least with the Sarek's max cruising speed of warp 8.8, it will roughly take 47 days to reach Earth.
And I will relay the course and that information to the commander via his counsel.
Lieutenant, question on your proposed course.
Yes, Commander?
Do you believe the Sarek can hold that max speed the whole way?
Judging by the age of the ships, sir, I would imagine we'd have to slow to impulse multiple times on this journey.
All right. Once you get your department sorted and all that, I want you to speak with the Chief of Engineering, Lieutenant Junior Calum. Work out with him what the schedule will be for our keeping the engine going. I don't want to be stuck stranded out in space.
Yes, sir. And I will get up and meet my department, and then I will go to engineering.
For some reason, we lost all the shuttles.
I also do believe that the commander wanted to meet with Calum.
Yes. To that point, I'll say, Lieutenant Vogel, you can meet with the Lieutenant Calum in the conference room. I have to speak with him about something.
Yes, sir. And I'll head to the...
Commander to Lieutenant Calum, ready room, as soon as possible, please.
Calum's gonna get a look in his eyes down in engineering, and go like, yeah, and you can hear it in his voice. On my way.
And I'll head to the ready room to wait, sharpening my axe.
All of us hear a grindstone and don't know why it's there.
If it's in that ready room, it's my axe.
No, he brought one from his office.
Yeah.
And replicated the grindstone.
Oh, well then the chopping block can be mine. The spare guillotine is mine.
But yes, I'll wait for Calum to arrive in the ready room.
And I'm guessing a couple seconds later, you get a chime at the door, or a couple minutes later.
Come in.
You asked to see me, sir?
And I'm actually sitting at the desk this time. At attention. Lieutenant, I tap at my computer a little bit. Yes. Correct me if I'm wrong, you were the one that overloaded the phaser system?
Yes, sir.
Were you aware that 19 of your fellow crew were badly injured in the explosion resulting from that action?
I was not, sir.
Were you aware that some of these people likely would have died if the medbay had lost power?
Likely, sir. However, I do believe that my actions, in retrospect, saved our lives in the end.
Any other commentary you wish to say about your action? I can put it officially in the record for you, because I'm entering this in.
I did what I thought was necessary to stop a rogue act by our captain.
Well, I'll put that in, I suppose. Rogue. Well, for the time being, you are restricted to duties for the next month. And I expect you to volunteer any free time you have after that for the month afterward to assisting with medbay.
And you can, like, see Calum's face, like, go a little bit darker. All he says is, "Yes, sir."
If this was any other situation, Lieutenant, you might have been demoted over this. But me and you know the situation here. So I'm going light on as I dare on this ship. Otherwise, go ahead, Lieutenant.
He just said, "I understand, sir."
Very good. I have Lieutenant Vogel, the new flight officer. She has a proposed course for our way back home, and you are to work with her for the time being before you go back to your regular duties.
Upon hearing new flight officer, he's like, "Oh boy, this is going to be fun."
Be nice, Lieutenant. Don't pick on the new pilot.
Me, sir. That chair was mine 2 weeks, or like a month ago.
Starfleet works fast. Well, usually does anyway. Any other commentary you wish to put on to the record?
Not right now, sir.
Very good. I'll see you at tomorrow's engineering briefing. You're dismissed.
Yes, sir. And Calum will turn and walk out.
Yeah, that's how to start my first day on command. Yay. And he'll wait in the ready room catching up with paperwork that is more paperwork than he had earlier. For some reason it's the same amount. Weird.
And also, Calum will head into the conference room.
And you'll see you, Lieutenant Vogel, just kind of staring out the window at the, just looking at the station with a bunch of pads on the desk. Or table, I should say.
And as Calum walks in, you'll hear him go, "Ah, Lieutenant Vogel."
Lieutenant Calum, I presume.
Yes.
The commander has asked me to work with you on setting a schedule for putting the ship in orbit to recharge its warp coil.
Okay.
I have the course laid out in the pad, and I'll walk over and slide it across the table for your review, of course.
The first thing Vogel will notice is that Calum takes one look at the pad and shakes his head and goes, "A nice course." However, warp 8.8, let's see here. Out of character, I forget how long an ambassador class can maintain that speed.
That's its maximum cruise speed.
Okay, that's its maximum cruise speed. That's not.
Yeah, that's the max safe cruise speed. So the ambassador can go a lot faster, up to warp 9 point something, but they can only maintain that speed for 12 hours.
Okay. Well, Lieutenant, if we maintain 8.8, we should be fine. As long as we don't have to go any faster than that, we won't have to worry about recharging the warp coils, letting the warp plasma cool off. I'd say 8.6 for a good margin of error, maybe. But We can maintain 8.8 the entire way if we have to.
It was just my orders to get this ship to Earth as quickly as possible. But I will factor in 8.6 upon your recommendation, Lieutenant.
Thanks, Lieutenant. Have fun in that chair.
And she just kind of raises an eyebrow at that statement.
A month ago, I was in it.
I see. So you have received quite the promotion.
Yes, our previous chief engineer, being an enlisted, was transferred to the Starfleet Corps of Engineers, and someone needed to take his place, or her place, my bad. And apparently, at the time, Captain Sarek, and it was acting ensign Altera. Both of them assumed that I would be perfect for the job.
I see. Do you really think you could keep this bucket of bolts together long enough to make it back to Earth?
I've kept it together the past month. She won't fly apart on you.
That's nice to hear. I don't relish the idea of heading back into open space. Without a ship around me, at least.
True. Better to be in an atmosphere than in vacuum.
And she just kind of sighs. You have no idea.
Caleb will nod his head and just be like, okay.
Well, Lieutenant, I look forward to working with you.
Same here, Lieutenant.
If there's nothing else, I'll go ahead and make those adjustments.
All right. Yeah, we should be good at 8.6. I'll try and make sure nothing crazy happens.
Very good. If you'll excuse me.
And I'm guessing Vogel leads the way out of the conference room and Caleb just heads back to engineering.
Yep, and I will scoop up all my data pads on the way.
All right. Is there any other role play that people would like to do?
I think at some point the commander wanted to talk to the doctor, but it just never happened.
I can't recall why.
I just remember it being a thing. Important.
Would it pertain to the injuries from the explosion on Deck 8?
Oh yeah, I looked that stuff up, Doctor. I actually didn't need to conference with your character.
With that, I think it's probably a good place to call this session. Yeah, just want to say thanks for everyone that tuned in this evening, and see you guys next week.